The story begins in a mysterious world where we see a ship in a desert heading towards a mysterious tower at full speed. Everyone is comfortably seated on the ship. Then suddenly, the ship begins to shake and some monsters attack it from behind. This causes damage to the ship and the people inside fall all over the place. Just then, the captain of the ship prevents the ship from colliding with a large rock. During this, one of his companions falls off the ship, but the ship leaves him there and moves on. The scene cuts, and in another scene, we see some soldiers in the normal world talking on the phone with their other team. She provides information about it. Just then, an attacker strikes the team and kills them. The leader of this team is a female soldier. Subsequently, the survivors move forward in search of their other team. On the way, they spot tire tracks left by the other team's vehicles. Judging by the scene, it appeared as though the other team's vehicles had vanished from that spot quite suddenly. At that moment, one of the team members notices something approaching them from ahead. The leader realizes that their other team had, in their final moments, also spoken of an impending storm, and that this is that very storm. Upon seeing this, they all begin to flee the area. Now, each of them takes one last look at their family photographs or the keepsakes given to them by their loved ones. Meanwhile, the storm intensifies violently, engulfing everyone in its fury. Suddenly, all the stones in the vicinity begin to glow, and mysterious phenomena start to unfold. It appears as though they have become trapped within a portal to another world. Moments later, they are teleported to a different realm. The storm vanishes just as abruptly as it appeared, and the group lands in a desolate, white desert. As far as the eye can see, nothing but the desert stretches out before them. The leader then instructs one of her companions to climb to a high vantage point to survey their surroundings. Their vehicles were also damaged by lightning. They then decide to walk 20 kilometers. Then, one of their companions starts the vehicle, solving one of their problems. Then, when they reach a higher altitude, they see the vehicles of their other team, which have been reduced to ashes. They go to theirs and see that all their companions have also been reduced to ashes. Seeing all this, they are left wondering who could have done this. Frightened, everyone starts moving forward and looking for a way out. Then, they see a man coming towards them, and this man is the same man who fell from the plane at the beginning. His name is Hunter. Hunter has been surviving here for many days now. Consequently, he possesses intimate knowledge of every detail of this place. Meanwhile, the leader stops upon spotting a massive skeleton. Everyone assumes it to be the remains of a dinosaur. However, it was many times larger, even than a dinosaur. Hunter realizes that these people are in danger within the desert, so he fires an arrow to signal them and attempts to draw their attention toward himself. However, mistaking him for an enemy, they open fire on him. Just then, the leader grasps the situation and orders the firing to cease. At that very moment, the ground beneath them begins to tremble, and from behind, rising from beneath the earth, a monster comes charging rapidly toward them. Upon seeing this, everyone scrambles into their vehicles and attempts to flee. Together, the entire group, including their leader, opens fire on the monster. However, the bullets have absolutely no effect on the creature. Then, the monster delivers a powerful blow that sends one of their vehicles flipping over. The monster then advances, moving in to finish them off. The group manages to scramble away once again, but then the monster slams into their vehicle once more, causing it to overturn and sending everyone flying through the air. A brief silence ensues. Everyone assumes that the monster has left. But just then, the monster thrusts its horn into the back of one of the teammates from behind. Witnessing this, the team becomes even more terrified. However, that soldier performs a heroic act. He pulls out a handful of bombs and hurls them at the monster. The monster remains unharmed, but this diversion buys everyone a brief window of opportunity to escape. Then, everyone begins fleeing into the mountains. Meanwhile, Hunter attacks the monster to ensure the others can make their getaway. The monster now glares at Hunter with intense fury. Just then, everyone rushes into a cave. In its attempt to force its way inside, the monster snaps off its horn. The monster then departs from the scene. Now, everyone inside is left in a state of extreme panic. Upon seeing this, the leader calms everyone down and says, "We are soldiers. We do not know how to fear. We know how to fight. We will fight and we will survive." Everyone accepts the leader's words. Just then, a second monster attacks the leader. Seeing this, everyone opens fire on it and drives it away. Meanwhile, the other soldiers mistakenly believe the leader to be dead. At that moment, a swarm of spider-like monsters launches an attack on the area. Seeing this, everyone begins to flee in order to save their lives. All the while, the hunter is watching this entire unfolding scene. Then, the hunter, firing arrows from his position, makes every effort to save them all. However, in the process, he himself gets into trouble. Eventually, he manages to save his life by the skin of his teeth. At the mark, his companions begin to fall one by one, perishing at the hands of the monsters. Meanwhile, the leader regains consciousness. At the agonizing screams of her companions reach the leader's ears. Just then, another monster approaches the leader. It picks her up, carries her away, and after wrapping her in its web, leaves her suspended in midair. As the leader fully comes to her senses, she struggles to break free free and escape from her predicament, and it is there she spots the lifeless bodies of her companions hanging nearby. Give out! Upon seeing this, the leader feels completely broken inside. Yet, she does not lose heart. Instead, she begins searching for a way to escape the place. However, the leader finds herself trapped right in the very center of the monster's lair. This realization causes the leader to panic even more. Just then, the leader spots a bag nearby. She gathers all the items she might need and stows them inside. Meanwhile, the pain from her injury begins to intensify severely, but the leader refuses to give up. Driven by sheer determination, she presses onward. Suddenly, she feels a gust of wind. This is where she makes her biggest mistake. Seeing the red light, all the monsters are drawn to the leader. Meanwhile, the leader sees numerous monster eggs. While the leader is watching all this, one of her companions places a hand on her, which is still alive. Seeing this, the leader becomes very frightened. Now both of them move forward. At that very moment, their lights also go out. Seeing this, the leader turns on another light. There's a huge monster in front of her. Meanwhile, the leader's companion tears open his shirt. He sees that numerous spider eggs are lying on the leader's body, from which the babies are starting to hatch. Seeing this, the leader becomes frightened. Just then, the monster attacks her. Attacks the man. The leader immediately opens fire on the monster, causing it to catch fire and giving the leader a chance to escape. Now, the leader emerges from the cave. As soon as she steps outside, she feels a severe burning sensation throughout her body. Just then, a horde of monsters approaches from behind. However, they were unable to venture out due to the sunlight. Seeing this, the leader feels a sense of relief. Then, the leader slowly begins to climb the massive mountain. Upon reaching the mountain's summit and looking around, she sees nothing but desert stretching as far as the eye can see. The leader then returns to the exact spot where the hunter had been standing just moments earlier. Here, the leader notices a cluster of stones embedded in the ground. She picks up a stone and throws it into the desert. The moment the stone hits the ground, a monster attacks it. Seeing this, the leader immediately ducks down to hide. The monster looks around and walks away. This leaves the leader feeling deeply distressed, as the monster was still out to get her. Now, the leader sets out in search of water, as she is parched with thirst. Her search for water leads her to a place where numerous ships lay wrecked and broken, having sat there for years. Spotting a drum, the leader approaches it. However, it contains no water. Upon discovering this, the leader becomes even more disheartened. The leader then goes inside a ship to look around. Suddenly, someone emerges from behind her. Seeing this, the leader becomes alert. The leader slowly gets up and moves forward. Just then, the same man, Hunter, holds a dagger to the leader's throat. The leader seizes the opportunity and attacks the hunter, and the two engage in a fierce fight. Then the hunter picks up a knife and attacks the leader, but the leader cleverly thrusts the knife into his chest. Just then, the hunter attacks the leader with a powerful blow, rendering the leader unconscious. The leader then goes inside a ship to look around. Suddenly, someone emerges from behind her. Seeing this, the leader becomes alert. The leader slowly gets up and moves forward. Just then, the same man, Hunter, holds a dagger to the leader's throat. The leader seizes the opportunity and attacks the hunter, and the two engage in a fierce fight. Then the hunter picks up a knife and attacks the leader, but the leader cleverly thrusts the knife into his chest. Just then, the hunter attacks the leader with a powerful blow, rendering the leader unconscious. He binds his hands and begins to lead him away as his captive. Just then, night falls, and all the monsters start emerging from their homes to hunt. The hunter then brings him into his makeshift shelter, where water is available for drinking. The captive drinks the water in the hunter's presence and satisfies his hunger by eating the food found there. Meanwhile, numerous monsters from outside attempt to break into their shelter. A short while later, the hunter applies some medicine to his wounds and falls asleep. The next morning, the hunter wakes up, steps outside to check the surroundings, and scans the desert through his binoculars. The monster is still seen roaming around. Hunter then returns to his house, but Leader is gone. Leader attacks Hunter from behind. Leader ties Hunter up and drinks his water. Then Hunter kicks the water, spilling it. This enrages Leader. The two then begin fighting again, very fiercely. They hit each other and fighting, come out of the house and roll down the mountain. Just then, Hunter enters Monster's house, and the monsters, hearing the commotion, immediately rush to attack him. They were just about to kill him. Then the leader pulls him out and saves the hunter's life. Then, the leader, unwilling to fight anymore, cuts the hunter's rope and gives him chocolate to eat. The hunter is delighted to eat chocolate for the first time, and in return, gives the interleader water to drink. The leader, also happy after drinking the water, leaves. The two then make a plan to get out of here. In their plan, one monster will kill the other monster. According to the plan, the leader stands in the monster's territory at sunset and starts singing. The monster emerges and chases after the leader, intent on attacking her. The leader flees with all her might. Just then, the monster gets caught in the trap they had set. Undeterred, the hunter attacks the monster and kills it. He then severs one of its venomous stingers, and the two of them grab the stinger and make their escape. Upon returning home, the hunter extracts the venom from the monster's stinger and detaches the stinger itself. Then, the hunter fastens the venomous stinger to one of his arrows. Afterward, the pair sets a trap at the location and gathers up all their equipment. The hunter then begins teaching the leader how to wield a weapon. By now, both of them have perfected every skill and are fully prepared to take down the monster. Meanwhile, out in the desert, the monster is roaming about. Just then, their trap at the mark is triggered, and a drum goes flying through the the air before landing in the desert. Hearing the sound of the drum, the monster immediately heads toward it and attacks it. Seizing this opportunity, the leader begins guiding the hunter toward their vehicle. However, the monster spots them. The monster then begins charging rapidly toward the pair. At that moment, the leader stops, and the hunter begins running in the opposite direction, causing the monster to divert its pursuit toward the hunter instead. While fleeing, a valuable item slips from the hunter's grasp. He begins to lift it up. Just then, the monster attacks the hunter, sending him flying to the ground some distance away. Seizing the opportunity, the hunter fires a poisoned arrow, striking the monster directly in the eye. This inflicts excruciating pain upon the monster. The monster was just about to launch a counterattack on the hunter when the leader opens fire on the monster with a barrage of bullets. Due to the poisoned arrow lodged in its eye, the monster is unable to see anything clearly and begins to feel dizzy. Nevertheless, the monster advances to kill the leader, but she attacks it with an RPG. However, the monster remains unharmed,